Stomp on me, William.
Bap.
William, stomp on me.
I've been playing Team Fortress 2 for a little off and on for about a decade. These days, I don't really play it that often, but maybe once or twice every year I'll get back into it for a little while. In this year's case, I saw Shonix videos on the 100-player Team Fortress 2 server. I played it for a little while, and while it was fun, I started thinking about how Team Fortress 2 was when I was younger. I remember a fair amount of trends in popular servers from years ago, and when I checked the server browser, many of these were empty or just completely shut down. One of these were, of course, the dime a dozen shitty Minecraft servers you used to see all the time. When I was new to Team Fortress 2, I don't think I even knew that there was a real game. I think I just clicked a random server in the server browser and it was just a Minecraft-themed trade server. And as an annoying Minecraft kid, these servers were honestly the best thing that I had ever seen. But now it seems a lot of these servers are dead, and maybe trade servers are in general to some extent. It feels a little bit creepy, but not exactly in a liminal space kind of way like some people talk about. It feels a little bit like the original Modern Warfare. And what exactly I mean by that is, it's still a game that you can actually even play online, but there isn't really that much you can do. It's a bit like a dead mall. You're free to enter it, you're free to walk around, but it's like all the gates have shut. You can't actually do anything that you wanted to go to the mall for, besides just walk around. And it's partly ironic because many malls today are still dead. Something that helps to kill most malls are big box stores like Walmart. Which brings us to our next server, titled Alpaca Pizza Party, which happens to be running this Walmart map about 100% of the time. If you've ever played Team Fortress 2, I feel like you've scrolled past this map at some point. I don't think I've ever really joined it before, but it happens to be running what is probably my favorite genre of maps, which is of course, the genre of crude recreation of real things. There isn't that much to this map. A lot of it is just Half-Life 2 props and makeshift checkout lanes. There's even a bar attached to it. It's a little bit like how some almost now completely bankrupt grocery chains around here have. It gives me this really unique sense of early 2010s nostalgia, like when every mediocre YouTuber was making Slenderman content. That actually found its way into Team Fortress 2. I never actually joined these servers back in the day, but I was curious to see what they would like. I never thought that I would enjoy them when I was younger, and I can say now that I was completely right about that assumption. I mean, it does feel like a well-made, competent game mode, and on an empty server, it did feel at least a little bit creepy. But I think the reason for that is that I was likely the first person to join the server in years, because all servers for this game mode that I could find were empty, and like the trend of Slenderman in the early 2010s, it's just slowly died out. However, as a quick aside, a trend from the early 2010s that has surprisingly done a bit better is Jailbreak. Most of the servers are dead, but I was surprised to see that some were a little bit active. They haven't really changed that much at all, as the game mode still consists of children yelling at other children, and there isn't really that much to do besides that. I thought it was interesting to see that this game mode is still at least somewhat alive.
Just stay out of the secret.
One server that I wish wasn't actually dead was this Mario Party server. This was definitely created well after I was actively playing Team Fortress 2, but it plays just like a TF2 port of Mario Party. Both teams compete against each other to move this payload around the map. I have no idea what happens after that, as most minigames seem to be impossible to complete alone. It reminds me of that WarioWare mod that was popular about a decade ago. In the little bit that I played, it featured game modes like this one where you have to dig up treasure, or there was another one where you run around an incomplete map and try to finish it. All in all, it just seems like a really fun game mode, and I wish it was a thing and at least more popular when I was actively playing, because I think it would have been fun. I always enjoyed these game modes that were based on existing IP, kind of like how I thought I would have enjoyed this next one. This is obviously just a kart racer based on Mario Kart, and I actually remember back in the day I really wanted something like this. I thought it would just be fun to have something like this in Team Fortress 2. I'm not actually sure what's wrong with this. My ping was completely okay, but I think it must have just been an issue with the map. At the end of the game it said both blue team and red team had 2 points each. It means that at least since server reset, up to 3 other people have suffered through this map. For this final section, originally I wanted to find that Habbo hotel map that was popular years ago, but I couldn't actually find any server that was running it. But what I did find were 2 dead servers that were actually pretty interesting. This first one was almost a late 2010s, early 2020s version of Habbo Hotel. There's weird anime memes everywhere, there's all these weird surreal images, there's references to popular games, and although this isn't a server or map that I can imagine multiple people actively playing on, I thought it was a great showcase of what some weirder maps could be. And there's even weird traps that throw you into slime. I don't really understand any of this, but it's a really cool and well-made map. That seemed to be the theme of the server that I joined. I had fun exploring this map for as long as I did. Overall, it felt really well made, and even if I didn't understand much of it, I could still definitely appreciate the work that went into it. And there's even a real portal to hell. This final map seems to be belonging to some YouTuber that they're running a custom map on. But the 2 times I checked it out, the only other thing on the server was a medic bot. But in a similar way to that fake town surrounding that Walmart map, it's just buildings, and you can actually enter most of them. It's another map that looks like it had a lot of work put into it, but it does kind of just feel like a ghost town now. There were a lot of little details, like how when you smack the burger, blood actually comes out. They even had a little player destruction robot running the coffee shop. And they're even following workplace safety laws by having the sheet pinned up in the break room. It was a wide open map with clearly a lot of love put into it. And in one of the corners of the map, right next to the No Heroes Motel, there's a graveyard. I'm not sure if there's actually any real significance to this being on the map, but it is a bit of a nice description for the map overall, and I think it's a nice place to end this video.